much. I know. More is more here with the gold.
More. Love it.
I love that we're talking about the holidays because you and I both get very excited about the holidays. Some folks are looking ahead and thinking, ooh, I'm about to be spending a lot of time with my family and it's going to be over like 24, 36, 48 hours.
You got it.
And maybe we need to start thinking about how we're going to make this year better than last year or the year before. Because you know what? You're born into the family you're born into. It doesn't necessarily mean that everybody gets along.
You marry the family that you're married into.
You marry the family that you married into. So when it comes to stress, you actually have some stats that show that a lot of people are quite stressed out this time of year about family.
You know what? It's interesting. This holiday season, Christmas, is actually one of the most stressful times for the entire year.
Wow.
88% of people feel stressed when celebrating the holidays. 88! That's like crazy.
That's a lot.
88. This is fun. Couples will have 7 arguments over the holidays.
Get started!
Get started! Tick it off! All right, we're at number 5. We got 2 more to go. Really? So 7 arguments over the holidays.
Yeah.
56% of people will bite their lip to avoid arguments with those kind of like tricky conversations with in-laws or family. 64% just avoid certain topics. Big ones are politics, religion, and your personal life.
Yes.
Yes, right? That personal life, all right? So these are like, yes, it's an exciting time, but it can really make people's stomach kind of go upside down.
Politics especially now, it is so divisive. You don't even want to dip a toe into it if you know that there are people that are polarized on certain topics. Like it can be a scary thing to get into.
Yes.
So the impact is what?
The impact is a lot of people will feel anxiety, stress. Some, they really kind of keep it in the depressed. Okay, so they kind of keep it all inside. And so what's interesting is when people have all these emotions, it will come out a lot of times in like behavior, right? They're going to cry, they may withdraw, they might kind of keep to themselves, they might drink too much, they might have a difficulty time sleeping. The big one is irritability. So people can kind of hold all those emotions and then they're really irritable with their family members. So that's the impact. So this is why this is like, it's just so important that we talk about kind of solutions around it.
Right. That's when you find people getting passive aggressive or acting up, and it's about something so unrelated to what they're upset about.
Absolutely.
So you've got some solutions, and I think they're great because they are they sort of range, and I think they all involve perspective.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes. So the first one I want everyone to think about is try to really embrace the mindset of what I would call celebrating differences.
Yeah.
So when you think about people that we would call tricky, whether it's blended families or in-laws or our own family, usually those tricky conversations are because people have a different opinion than we do.
Yeah.
Different faith, different political viewpoint. Maybe we think that they should be married or they should be dating somebody else. Like, it's usually there's a difference.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times what happens with the mindset is I'm right, you're wrong.
Yes.
So all of a sudden we kind of get into this headbutt. And so one of the things we want to kind of really try to get people to think, I don't like black and white, I like gray. I think gray is a beautiful color. And to really think about how can we really embrace and celebrate differences versus I'm right and you're wrong.
You know, you said something on this show, and it might have been last Christmas, but you said think about that family member that you usually maybe have conflict with.
Yes.
And think about something positive about them.
Yes, I remember us having this convo.
Remember that?
Yes.
And so, and I thought, and that really helped change things for me because when you go into a conversation already with your backup, thinking you disagree with me on this, you approach it very differently than when you come into a conversation with someone you actually really like and love. And so I think that that's important to getting you towards the celebrating differences because we all are coming from different places, right?
And just having that mindset of that there is something positive.
There's something good about
you. I remember us having this conversation where there was somebody in your family that something positive that you could actually kind of like anchor on.
Everyone
has got something. So I think that's really kind of really getting hold of and having a positive mindset is really important.
Hang on to that.
Hang on to it. Yes.
The other thing you say is get yourself ready.
Get yourself ready.
Mentally prepared.
Totally. So don't think of it like war zone. Although some of us might think going on a family holiday is war zone, but let's just think about like your armor. Okay. And so when we're going into things that are really emotionally tricky, it is really important to mentally and physically take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So make sure you get enough sleep. Make sure you do like whether it's meditation. Just because if you're going in and you're unprepared, you're gonna have a really hard time in terms of dealing with anything kind of tricky. So really get yourself ready.
Absolutely. Focus on better. This is a good one.
Yeah. Just kind of like don't. It's not gonna be perfect. So what's like one thing you can make it just a little bit better? Just a little bit movement. So at least there's movement forward.
Yes.
And I think just when we can kind of really think small baby steps, it's a little bit more manageable than we're going to have this perfect relationship, because we're not.
Totally.
So just kind of think what's a little better.
Okay.
A little bit better.
Problem solve.
Oh my goodness. This is a skill. We need to do a whole show on teaching people how to problem solve. Because we can really, I know,
Right?
everyone's like, because it's true. Like a lot of us will focus on the problem instead of the solution. So classic, really good example is like an in-law. If you have a situation with your in-laws, ask your partner ahead of time, what's one thing that you need that I could provide for you before we actually go to your parents, or vice versa. What is one thing? What's one thing you need? And they might say, can you just give me a little bit more affection when we're there?
Okay.
Or can you give me a little bit more affirmation in front of your parents? Like think of one solid thing that you can really anchor on. And so I want couples to really focus more on problem solving than actually focusing on the problems itself.
Yeah. So see what could potentially go wrong. Help me out before we even get there.
You got it. And so it's kind of you're one step ahead of it, because people are very habitual.
Yes.
The same problems tend to happen
in the same way
all the time. So you want to kind of like pay attention. What's a potential problem, and what is a different outcome or solution that we can actually do?
And finally, what does that mean?
Focus on, I would rather have people have less time that's positive than more time going, oh my goodness, that was like way too long. Get me out of here. So focus on, like, let's have quality, not quantity.
Yes.
What is a really, what's a better amount of time so that we can be ending well and actually have a really great time together.
That is so realistic. Keep the visit short.
Short and sweet. Short and sweet.
Yes.
So you can say, gosh, I wish that was longer.
Right?
That's what you want. I wish that was longer.
Dr. Karyn Gordon, thank you.